Okay, good day everybody. Today I'm going to be walking you through how to install an Ubuntu server using Virtualbox. So here I'm going to be installing it on a Kali Linux machine. I'm running Kali Linux bare metal, not on Virtualbox. But this procedure should be you can follow this procedure even if you're using Virtualbox Kali. That's if you're running your Kali within Windows using Virtualbox. So I don't think it really matters that much. You can also still follow along. So first off, we're going to download the couple tools. So first off, we need Virtualbox obviously, and then we need to download the Ubuntu server image file. So to download Virtualbox, you can just go to your sidebar and type in Virtualbox download, and then you come to the first link, click on it. And here you can see multiple operating systems. So since I'm running a Linux operating system, I'm going to select Linux distributions. And then I'm going to select the version of Linux I'm running. So I'm using Debian 12, so I'm going to select it since I'm running Kali Linux. So you can select whatever Linux distro you're using for this list. So it's going to install a .deb package. So I'm going to save it and it will okay, so it says I already have it installed right here, so I don't need to install it again. So just click on save and it will save it for you. So next up, I want to install the Virtualbox since I've already downloaded it. So to install it, I'll open my terminal. So this method is just for Linux users. So if you're using Windows, you will just go to the location where the Virtualbox downloaded to, and then you double click on the exe file and it will start the installation process for Virtualbox. You can watch my previous video on how to actually install Virtualbox if you're stuck or if you're having issues. But if you're running Kali Linux like me, you can follow the steps. So I'm going to navigate to my downloads directory, which is I'm going to navigate to the location where I saved the .debian file. So I'll go cd downloads / software because that's where I saved it. Press enter and let's confirm that it's there. You can see the file, the .deb file is here already. So I'm going to use a sudo apt-get -i, then the name of the package I want to install, enter my password. So it's going to install this package for me. So let it run and it will install. Okay, so it was successfully installed Virtualbox. So you can just click on your menu here and search for Oracle Virtualbox. So you can see it's already here. So I will just open it and then you can expand it. So next step, we need to get the Ubuntu server image file because that's the next thing we need to download. So you can just open your tab here and search for ubuntu.com/download and you press enter. To load up. So since we are downloading Ubuntu server and not desktop, you click on the server tab. And then you see this green icon here, you click on it for the download to start. So to say Ubuntu something will start in the download, blah, blah, blah. So if it doesn't start, you can click on this button here. So since I already have it installed, let me just close this tab. So the location of my ISO image is in documents / image files. So just take note of where you saved your image file because you will need it here. So next step, open your Virtualbox and then click on this new icon here. You click on it. So it asks you for a name. So you can just name your Ubuntu server whatever you want to name it. I'm going to name it Ubuntu_server. The next is to select your ISO image. That's the file you just downloaded. I'll go to the location, click on other, then go to the location of where your image file is located. So mine is located in image files, so I'll click on it and click open. So let's see, you need to select skip unattended installation. Check it and you click on next. So here we're going to set up the resources that our Ubuntu server should use. So in this case, it's asking you for a base memory that is how much RAM do you want to dedicate to your Ubuntu server. Since it's an Ubuntu server, you don't really need that much, to be honest. So I'm going to just leave it at 2 gig RAM, or maybe I can bump it up to maybe 3 gig. That's a 48. Yeah, so you can just leave it at 3 gig, so it doesn't really matter. So it's a server. Even 2 gig is like more than enough. So next is select the amount of processors you want. So currently I have 4 processors on my system. So I'm going to just select 2 out of those 4 processors. Since it's a server, it doesn't really need as much resources as you think. So you can even leave it at 1 processor and 2 gig RAM. It doesn't really matter. So you click on next. Then here you have to select the hard drive space you're going to dedicate to your Ubuntu server. So I personally am not really using it that much. So I'm going to just reduce it to maybe 14 gigs or something. So you can just select how much space you want to dedicate to your Ubuntu server, depending on how much you already have. So you click on next. Here it's just tell you the summary of everything you just selected. So you click on finish. Now you see your Ubuntu server will appear at the left hand side. So next we want to now start the installation of our Ubuntu server. So click on start. It's going to start up a new window, and you can expand this if you want. Close this right box here if you want to. So here we're going to be using our keyboard now, no more mouse. So you can select any one you want. So we're going to select the first option. You click on enter. Then it's going to show some diagrams. Okay, so here we have to select the language. So I speak English, so select English. Then we are going to continue. We're going to update the, okay, so after selecting English, we're going to select the new installer. So we're going to click on update new installer. Remember, you can't use your mouse, you have to use your keyboard. Alright, so it's going to show us the layout of our keyboard, so you can decide to change it or not. I'm just going to leave it at default, so click on done. So here to ask you if you want to select Ubuntu server or minimized version. I'm going to click on Ubuntu server, so leave it as it is and click on done. So here you can configure your network interfaces, your IP address and all that type of stuff, so I don't need to do that, so click on done. Here proxy address, we don't need a proxy, click on done. And the email address asking if you want to change it, so we don't need to change it, click on done also. Okay, so you click on continue, so you let it run. Okay, so here it's going to ask you if you want to use the entire disk or not. So you know, I dedicated 14 gigs for my own, so that's what you can see right there. So you can just click use your arrow key to navigate down to see the done selected. So you click on enter. So here it's just asking you if you're okay with the partitioning. You click on done, and then it asks you, are you sure if you want to continue? Yes, you click on continue. So here you're going to set up your name, your server's name, your username, and all that type of stuff. So I'm just going to set I guess Ibrahim. Oh no. Okay, server's name Ubuntu server. Okay, so you can't use a capital letter like that. Ubuntu underscore server. You can pick anything you want. Text, your password, press enter, confirm your password, press enter. Then you press enter to click on done. So do you want to enable Ubuntu Pro? We don't want to enable that, so you click on continue. Install OpenSSH server. Yes, we want that. So you click on enter to enable it, and you scroll down, click on done. It asks, do you want to select any new packages? We don't need to select any new packages here. So you click on done. then it starts the installation of Ubuntu server. So I'll just skip right here and go to the next section. Alright, so the installation has completed and we can now reboot the system. You can click on reboot, select reboot. Remember, you can only use your keyboard, you can't use your mouse. So it will show some errors like a failed on mounting, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter, just don't worry. Just relax and let it do its thing. Okay, so here it has actually finally installed. So to get your login prompt, you just press enter a few times. So you can see it has displayed Ubuntu server login. So here you will now enter the username you specified earlier. I specified the Deus Ex, and then you have to ask you for a password and specify the password you entered back then. And just like that, you have access to your Ubuntu server. For my and stuff like that. So here you have your Ubuntu server. You know we didn't install the desktop version, so there's no GUI. So you're just going to have access to the terminal. I mean, it's an Ubuntu server, so we don't really need that. So next up, we are going to configure the IP address. So if I type in the command IP ADDR, you can see that the INET in the second interface, that's the ENP0S3. And if you look at the INET section, you'll see the IP address is 10.0.2.15. So with that IP address, I would not be able to reach it from my own local system. So if I type in same command here, you can see that my ETH0 interface, and where is it? Oh, sorry. This interface here, my WLAN system is using Wi-Fi. You can see my IP address is on a different network entirely. So I have to configure the Ubuntu server to be on the same network as my local machine, so that I'll be able to SSH into the Ubuntu server from this, my current local machine. So to do that, you can first of all shut down your Ubuntu server, power it off. If you don't bother about doing this, then there's no problem. You can just quit the video right here, right? But this is for people who want to make sure that they can be able to access their Ubuntu server via SSH, right? So you can shut down the machine first of all. Then you go to settings. You go to settings right here, and then you go to the network tab. And in this section where it says NAT, you click on it and go to bridged adapter. Bridged adapter. You want to select the bridged adapter. So I think that's virtually okay. And then when it asks you for the adapter type, you make sure you select a power virtualized network. So power virtualized network, and you click on OK. So now you can start your Ubuntu server again. And we'll check the IP address this time. Make sure it's on the same network as our local machine. So I'll be doing another walkthrough on how to install Ubuntu server on Windows machine. On a Windows machine, it's virtually the same steps. To be honest, it's the same exact steps. But for people who just need a walkthrough, I'll definitely make sure that I do a walkthrough for them. So we're going to wait for it so that we can log in to our machine. Okay, press enter, then it will bring out the prompt. So you can log in. Yes, so you can type the command IPADDR, and you can see that the IP address is now on our network. You can see the 192.168.0.110, which is on the same network as our IP address here. So you can even confirm by trying to ping this IP address. Ping 192.168.0.111, sorry, and you can see we're receiving pings from it. So we can also try to SSH into this machine. SSH, here's X, okay, at the IP address 192.168.0.110. Yes, and it asks for the password, and I'll enter the password. As you can see, I already have SSH access to my Ubuntu server from my local machine. So that's just how to do it. Let's name here. Yes, so you can see Ubuntu server. So that's that for the installation, guys. So next video I'll probably be showing how to set up DVWA on your Ubuntu server so that you can practice, web application security testing or whatever you're trying to do with DVWA. Yeah, so I'll teach you how to set it up on this Ubuntu server so that you'll be able to serve DVWA's site on your Ubuntu server and be able to reach it on your browser. Right, so that will be my next video. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.